It is my pleasure to be able to introduce our speaker for today. Sheila Janakos is the CEO of Healthy Horizons. And in this role, she brings 30 years of experience as an internationally board certified lactation consultant. She has a master's of public health, and she has been using those skills to serve breastfeeding families for the past 3 decades. Sheila, we're so excited to have you today to be able to share your expertise with our group.
Thanks, Jenny. I'm looking forward to the questions.
Awesome. Okay, now a question from Katie. When should I start pumping and how often? What do you think, Sheila?
Yeah, it really depends on the situation. I know that's probably not the answer people want to hear, but if breastfeeding is going really well, baby's latching, gaining weight, I wouldn't start pumping for a while. Let the baby regulate your milk supply. This is if things are going well. I'd probably wait till about 2.5 weeks, and then maybe pump once a day, maybe in the morning, about half an hour after feeding. The baby's settled. Maybe you've had a chance to eat something and actually use the restroom, take a shower, relax a little bit, and then I would pump. People tend to have more milk in the mornings, so that's why we suggest the mornings typically. And I just would do it once a day, just to start off with, to kind of get used to the pump. Make sure you have the right size phalanges, kind of get used to the rhythm, and you start collecting and storing milk that way. Once you get into kind of a routine, some people do add another pumping session throughout the day. But if you add too many pumping sessions, you could ramp up your milk production so high that you could have oversupply, which has a whole nother host of issues. So I would start that way.
Okay, good advice. Thank you. All right, and Amber. Amber's asked how long to typically breastfeed, and I'm not sure if she's speaking about during a session or, at what age do you discontinue breastfeeding, or do you?
So how about if I just answer both questions?
Okay, pick your favorite of both. Yeah.
No, might as well answer both. Okay, so let's start with the question, like how long, like how many months or years? Let's start with that.
Okay.
So the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends 6 months exclusive. That means nothing else passes that baby's lips for 6 months. 6 months exclusive, at least 1 year and beyond. Okay, American Academy. The World Health Organization says same thing about the 6 months. Nothing else passes the baby's lips for 6 months except milk. And then 2 years or beyond. So what I'm going to say, it's up to you. It's up to your family and what works for your lifestyle. The worldwide average is probably close to 4 or 5 years. And breastfeeding a 2-year-old is nothing like breastfeeding a 3-month-old. The baby might be nursing once a day for literally 2 minutes. Maybe once every 3 days for 2 minutes. So it's a very different situation as the child gets older. It's not this time-consuming, every couple of hour situation that we have early on. So how long do people typically breastfeed, like a session? Early on, a session could be anywhere from 30 to maybe 50 minutes. Why? Because the baby's learning how to nurse. And the baby also, they're very sleepy in the beginning. So they'll get on and they'll nurse, and then they'll literally nurse themselves to sleep. And you're like, hey, you're not done yet. So then you're trying to wake this baby up, get the baby up, and then you put the baby on the other side. So this can take a while. As the baby starts to wake up more, which usually happens around 2 to 3 weeks, this usually gets a little bit shorter. And as the baby gets older, as we talked earlier, it gets even shorter, sometimes down to 3 to 5 minutes. So the average breastfeeding length is 16 minutes from research, just to let you know once breastfeeding gets started.